Oh, hello. How's everybody doing? Let's turn this music down a tad. This is my favourite song in the world at the moment, by the way, in case you're wondering. It's called New Groove by Chris Dirksen. Look it up on YouTube. Fantastic, fantastic song. Very, very relaxing. His whole album that he just put out, very, very chill. Perfect for a day like today when I just kind of want to relax and not really think of anything big and exciting. Oh wait, hang on a second. It's the VGTR Season 3 finale. The grand finale, no less. All the way from beautiful, sunny Laguna, Seca, California in the United States. So yes, it's going to be a good race. Hopefully one of the most famous circuits in the States, just outside Monterrey and Salinas. We have 11 corners of wonderful tarmac, which our drivers are going to be hurtling down in a few minutes time. As soon as I can get a set of course loaded up, let's take our music down and let's get over into ACC. How is everybody today? I hope you're having a good one. Really, a true professional would have loaded up a set of course before he started his stream, but I'm not a true professional. If I was, the streams would be far, far less entertaining, let's face it. But yes, it is the finale of the VGTR Challenge Season 3 today. The finale of the Tommy B era of the VGTR Challenge as well. Exciting times for me and for the rest of the VGTR, because I'm sure that whoever replaces me is going to be just as charming and will probably also get these stream titles correct, so you're not looking at the wrong titles every single week. Let's connect to the server. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, we are already going. Let me switch over to broadcast mode. Let's focus on somebody on track. And then we're going to switch our scene in Streamlabs over to the game. Whoop. There we go. We're in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's VGTR challenge time once again as I raise up my monitor and get ready to stand to attention before my screen. We have a lot of drivers with stuff to play for today. We've got 8 minutes of free practice still going, so I'm just going to chat at you for a bit. Not really going to do anything too strenuous. Probably put out a little tweet saying that we're going live, shouldn't I? That'd be wise. Let's do that real quick. Let's do a tweet. VGTR League is the Twitch, isn't it? Copy that. And go to Twitter. I've got a lot of dirt on the front of my shirt. How's this happened? What on earth is going on here? That's horrible. Ugh. I don't know, what is this? Is this? Oh, it must be toothpaste. Ah, well, clumsy. Come watch, and then post the link, and there we go. Right, okay, now that's done, we can actually get on with the, the actual business at hand, which is the race we have. We have a lot of drivers, as I said, with stuff to play for today, which should make it very, very exciting. Presumably Tommy Lydon's already won the championship, so, that's not really to play for. But the race for second place is still hotting up. I wish I could tell you, what the permutations were, who had to finish where for certain things to happen. But this scoring system is very fucking confusing, and I don't really understand. As far as I can work out, if Artemi Ilin finishes 5th or higher today, his result will count, which will mean he'll be on at least 191 points. The lowest points tally he can escape with today, Artemi Ilin, is 8 points on top of what he has now, so he'll be on 189 points or something. No, because the points are different this season. How many points are there for 6th place? Hang on a minute. I don't fucking know. There's some people who are, there's some people that are going to be racing. There might be some championship permutations at the end. I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue what's going on. So yeah, I hope you're alright. I hope you're alright with that, because you're not getting any better information from me today. Let's have a look at the drivers instead. Jeffrey Therry, the number 65 Aston Martin, coming round the final corner now onto the home straight. Let's find him in the standings. How's he been doing this season, Jeffrey Therry? He's missed a couple of races, of that much I am aware. But I think it's actually been a fairly strong season for him, all things considered. P8 last time out was his strongest result in the VGTR challenge yet. So he'll be hoping to build upon that and get another good finish. Missed 3 races, I believe. Only 2 actual results put in, a 14th place and an 8th place. Enough for 21st in the championship. Behind him on track is Matas Sidekerskis, who very, very unfortunate at times this season. Retired at Donington through no fault of his own. Of course, recovered with a good 7th place last time out, his best result of the season, so he'll be hoping maybe to go one better this time. 6th place at the very, very least would be a good result for Matas Sidekerskis. Good points on the board all round. To be honest, from here, given that his drop result is 23rd place, he can only really go up. So Matas has a really, really good opportunity to move up the standings a little bit today. Behind him is Alex Kingston, of course, one of the sort of protagonists in this race for 2nd place. Would have been right up there if only he joined a little bit earlier. 2nd, 5th and 4th in his 3 races in the VGTR challenge so far. Means he sits 6th in the championship on 127 points. He too will only go up in points today. So he's got a lot of climbing potentially to do. The problem is the next driver ahead of him is a long way ahead, and that driver is Giorgio Zacchetti. It's a 31 point gap between the two of them. I don't know if that's catchable. I don't know how the point system works in this season, if I'm entirely honest. But Giorgio Zacchetti has had a good, generally a good season, I think one would say. Very, very strong so far. Had a good race last time out. His 2nd victory he picked up in the VGTR challenge. I can tell you that thanks to my brilliant stats channel that I made, I can actually tell you that he became only the 7th driver to secure multiple wins in the VGTR challenge, and crucially only the 4th driver ever to secure multiple wins at the pro level. The only drivers with more wins than Giorgio Zacchetti in this series: Tommy Lydon obviously with 3, Abe Santema with 5, and David Mitchell with 7. It's been an interesting couple of seasons in terms of the win distribution, let's say. Artemi Ilin, another man who got his first win in VGTR challenge history this season, obviously coming out with the dub at Donington Park. The latest addition to the Winners Club. I'm a series founder, of course, contemplating his participation in season 4. That much I know. So who knows where he could be? Who knows? This might be his last race for a while. So he'll be hoping, if so, to go out with a bang, and hopefully a bang in the positive sense, and not that he's going to hit somebody. Which we all know he does like to do from time to time, but thankfully Tom Bartels isn't racing today, so at least he's safe for once. Tommy Lydon, he's won every single race bar one that he's competed in. In all likelihood he'll win again today. He's 7/10 clear of everybody else in practice. That's Tommy Lydon for you. Roy Swaleson now. Oh, I forgot to install the livery pack again, didn't I? Well, too bad. It's my last race. You know, I'm doing that thing where you phone it in the last few weeks of your job. Honestly, forgot that was a thing. I've been too busy streaming Trackmania all morning. My bad. I say all morning, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. It's like it's getting towards late afternoon now. But yeah, what was I saying? Yes, Roy Swaleson had a generally bit of improvement this season. Very, very consistent Roy Swaleson. 14th, 19th, 16th, 16th, 17th, his results so far. Very, very consistent, picking up some decent points in every single race. 46 points in the moment means he sits in P19 in the championship. He'll be able to hold on to his top 20 placement. Behind him on track at the moment you can see is Andre Lloyd, who's had what can only go down as a pretty horrendous couple of races. 14th at Donington, 19th last time out. Good start to the season for Andre Lloyd, 6th and 7th after he got back from his computer failure. And there he goes spinning off into the dirt. Apologies for that. That's the caster's curse, isn't it? As soon as I cut somebody, they go off the track. But a good start to the season for Andre Lloyd. Had some computer trouble, returned, got a couple of good results in, but since then it's all gone a little bit to shit. The good news for him is he's another driver who will not be dropping any points. due to the drop round rule. He scored none on his drop round because he didn't attend because of his computer problems, and so he will only be going up. Good opportunity for him today to overtake drivers such as Martin Kuba or Peter Kramers. More likely people like his teammate Josh Buckwalter as well could be within range with a very, very good result today. Mohammed Irfan in P3 in the championship, 3 podiums in the last 4 races for him. He's been very, very consistent, including second place last time out. The closest challenger to Artemi Ilin in the race for P2. There's only 7 points between them, and Artemi Ilin has a 6th place finish dropped. Mohammed Irfan a 24th. So there's a lot of opportunity today for Mohammed Irfan to steal that 2nd place away from Mr. GT himself. Behind him is Felix Payant, who had an absolute banger of a start to the season with P9 at Kyalami. Since then, been a little bit more in the mid-pack, 16th, 12th and 15th in the 3 races he attended. Means he is the lowest ranked ORC driver at the moment, but his teammate Andre Lloyd is not out of reach. About 19 points between the two of them. With a good result today and a bit of bad luck for Andre Lloyd, Felix Payant could definitely ensure that he is not the lowest ranked ORC driver. I'm curious to see how that battle turns out. We love to see the ORC boys coming back time after time again. Like I always say, they're some of the most, I think they're genuinely some of the most valuable races we have. Always very clean, always very quick. Felix Payant, of course, last time out had a disconnect, which was very, very unfortunate for him. Another driver considering his future in the series, John Gibson, who's had a really, really strong race out at Donington Park. A really, really great performance from him. 18th last time out was a little bit of a step down, but he has every single bit of talent he could want to climb his way back up the field today. 35 points, so it means he currently sits P23 in the championship. He's missed 2 rounds as well, so again he's only going to go up in points. Definitely some places up for grabs today for John Gibson. Last driver out on track, Camille Taha. Good to see him returning to the series. We haven't seen him since Bathurst. He did sit around at Donington for a bit, but didn't really want to tackle the conditions, it seemed. But we haven't seen him since Bathurst. There he finished P10. Really, really strong result for him. A lot of credit is deserved for that. Let's find Matas, because he's going to be first out. There he is. We'll watch Matas for a bit, shall we, as he goes around Laguna Seca. Let's actually ride on board. We'll follow Tommy Lydon round. Obviously from Matas's perspective. And let's talk to you about the track. One of the most famous tracks on the States. The first corner you can see we're going to be skipping here. Or second corner technically, the Andretti hairpin. The first corner is the kink on the straight. John Gibson just went past. Little slightly technical section, turn 3 here. A little bit tight on the exit. Very easy to dip a couple of wheels over the white line there into turn 4. This is a really, really satisfying corner. Lots of open space, lots of momentum you can carry through. Nice and high speed for what it looks like. Good camber on turn 5 means this is also a very satisfying turn. And now we're heading up towards the fastest part of the circuit. Through turn 6 now, just missing the big curb on the inside there. Up the Rahal straight now towards one of the most famous corners in motorsport, the corkscrew. Turn 7 down the hill here into turn 8 and turn 8A, I believe this part is called, into turn 9, the rainy curve, long left-hander. Got to be careful, stay as close to the inside as possible for the second apex there with the curve in the middle. Turn 10, nice and simple, another 90-ish degree right-hander. Still got to be careful of the fierce steep curves. Final corner nice and tight. Good exit, very, very important because it will be carrying a lot of speed all the way down to the first corner. And out of turn 11 we come, and across the line with Matas Sidakaskis. Let's switch to the outside now and see how he does on his first flying lap. We're not going to bother looking at Tommy Lydon because we know that Tommy Lydon's just going to go around like a Scalextric car. He's just going to be perfectly on his line the whole way through. No mistakes. That's boring. Matas, always a chance for a little bit more intrigue, let's say. Simple Zach and VGTR League, both, that's Artemi, isn't it? Both in the chat. Shout out to Simple Zach, our favourite Justin Moffat super fan. We haven't actually seen Justin Moffat yet on the stream. I apologise for that. I will cut to him at some point. I'll even give you more foot cam if you want, like I did last time. Anyway, On board with Matas now as he goes around turn 6 up towards the Rahal Straight. A little bit shaky there, getting 4 wheels over the white line on the curb. Does unsettle the car. Into the corkscrew we go. What an angle this is to see. Is he going to go too deep? No. Perfectly controlled. That is a stunning corner from Matas there, you got to say. Into the rainy curve. Line all looks good. Using all the space on the outside of the circuit. Carrying plenty of speed. Using the camber to his advantage. Not quite using all the track there, but it's not always necessary. Into the final corner now. He's got Jeffrey Theriot for company behind him. But Matas is going to be the first driver to cross the line. The question is, what time will it be? Jeffrey Theriot goes wide. Felix Pyant goes wide. Nobody's going to be setting valid lap times from there. The next driver set valid lap time is going to be Giorgio Zacchetti. Can he go faster than 1:23.9? He does. 1:23.7 for Giorgio Zacchetti. A host of drivers come across the line. John Gibson goes third fastest with a 1:26.1. And we're not going to have a valid lap for a little while until Martin Kuba comes across the line. No, not Martin Kuba. Leon Staplefelt, sorry. Goes first with a 1:23.5. Martin Kuba fourth fastest. We're going to see another driver. It's Mohammed Irfan looking for pole position. 1:23.7 is all he can do. P3 for now. Royce Swelson, the next driver to look at. And behind him, look who it is. It is Justin Moffat. The fan favourite himself. Who is it? What's it going to be for Royce Wilson? It's going to be a 1:28.9. Justin Moffat, though, probably going to go a bit higher. Yes, he does. 1:24.9. Behind him, Andre Lloyd, hoping to move into the top 5 for sure. Only a 1:25.4 for Andre Lloyd at the moment. Not even the highest placed American. Matas has had an incident of some kind. He is sat on the outside of the corkscrew. Just as we cut back to him, because of course he is. Sorry, Matas. I pick my moments, don't I? Let's have a look at Felix Pyant as he comes across. He's going to be the next driver to set a brand new lap time. Giorgio Zacchetti will be hoping, actually, we'll have to cut to Giorgio because he's going to be wanting to set a time faster than Leon Staplefelt's 1:23.5, and he is capable of doing it. 1:23.7 at the moment to beat, to improve. 1:23.56 is his aim. Will he beat it? Yes, he does. A 1:23 dead. That is fiercely quick. Felix Pyant comes across the line, goes 5th faster with 1:24.4. Very good lap from the American there. Alex Kingston does not set a valid lap time there. Artem Illing going to come across the line. That's a 1:23.9. He goes into the top 5. John Gibson cannot improve. I think that was an invalid lap. Leon Staplefelt is the first driver to hit your 1:23, your 1:22s. Martin Cooper fails to improve. We have another driver coming across the line here in Kemil Taha. He goes into the top 10 with a 1:25.4. We also have Mohammed Irfan still not able to improve. 1:26 there from him. Josh Buckwalter does set his first lap time as well. Our last remaining ORC driver that we haven't talked about yet. He is going to be going into P9. Justin Moffat improves. He goes into P6. And now Royce Wilson also cannot improve. Andre Lloyd does go down to a 1:24 dead. He's now the fastest American in the server by a 10th over Justin Moffat, and next it's going to be Giorgio Zacchetti to come across the line once again. Whew! I'll tell you what, it's very hard to get no sleep and then try and cast for this long and have to say this many words. Oh, I'm exhausted already. Did get steamed about 4:30 last night. And it's, yeah, that was only 12 hours ago. Giorgio Zacchetti going to come across the line. He improves 1:22.7. The times are dropping. You wonder if it's track aging or if it's just pure skill. Here comes Tommy Lydon. Is it going to be first place? You bet it is. A 1:22.2. That's disgusting. Alex Kingston goes 4th fastest. Artem Ilin will be able to improve. He's still in 7th. He couldn't improve on that lap. Only a 1:24 for him. John Gibson goes faster than his previous lap with a 1:25.2. That's a good improvement for him. Mohammed Irfan's going to be next across the line. Is it going to be anything improvement for him? Yes, 1:22.9. Mohammed Irfan goes into the top 3. Bad news for Artem Ilin there. Josh Buckwalter does not improve enough to go into the top 10. Matas Sidikes is coming across the line now. Doesn't improve. Fabrizio Barbierato we haven't seen yet. Still stays P15. And Jeffrey Theriot hoping to get himself off the back of the grid. He hasn't set a lap time yet and he won't this time. Justin Moffat though also fails to improve. 1:26.6 him on that lap. Andre Lloyd hoping to get himself further up the order. Only P8 for now. We've got Giorgio Zacchetti once again right on board with him as he comes across the last few corners now into the rainy curve. You see much closer to the inside curve there than Matas was on his outlap at the very least. We don't know what Matas did in his flying laps. We assume it's something like this. This is textbook from Giorgio Zacchetti who's going to pull into the pits. Well, good timing, Tommy. Okay, and now Leon Staplefelt, P4, has sat on provisional pole at one point during this session. He'll be hoping that he can go a little bit faster. Try and knock Tommy Lydon or at least Giorgio Zacchetti off of their perches. It's not going to happen though, because that was an outlap apparently. Or a spin. Alex Kingston lifts himself into the top 10. Jog Gibson, 125.282 beat. What's it going to be as he comes across the line? It could be something faster. It's a 126.4 though. Felix Pine also fails to improve, so it's an outlap. Martin Kuba goes quicker, but not quick enough to actually get himself into the top 10. The top 10 very, very quick right now. Quite a big gap forming there. Kamil Taha improves up to P14 and Josh Buckwalter into P12. Jeffrey Theriot, he's got to set his first lap time. He'll probably be aiming to be around P13 or so if he has a good lap. And it's going to be P15 for him, a 126.2. I think he can probably do faster than that. He'll be hoping he can at the very, very least. Andre Lloyd fails to improve half a second off his best there. Mohamed Irfan going to be next to cross the line. The mount all the way from Indonesia, who's been one of the most electric new drivers that the VGTR Challenge has seen since the end of last season. Challenged David Mitchell. Struggled to challenge Tommy Lydon, as all the drivers have this season. But Mohamed Irfan going to come across the line, not able to improve. 2:11 there. That was a valid lap as well, so I'm not sure what happened entirely. Leon Staplefeld is next up. What can he do with this? 123.1. Not going to be enough to go any quicker. Alex Kingston will be hoping to get below 122.7, but he can't. 122.9. Good consistency from Alex Kingston, but not quick enough on this occasion. Ultimately, it improves, but it's not enough to take any positions away. Our next driver with a valid lap to come across the line is going to be Martin Kuba in the number 420 Audi. 124.44 to beat. He's going to get into the top 10. Only 200ths he needs to take off. Can he do it? No, he cannot. 125.4. A whole second slower on that occasion. Our next driver, you see, there's Andre Lloyd going past Giorgio Zacchetti, who's found his way off the track. 7.5 tenths to make up to Tommy Lydon at the moment. Tommy Lydon looking like he's going to have a pretty secure grip on this championship. Here comes Andre Lloyd around the final corner now. He'll be hoping he can get an improvement on the board as Jeffrey Theriot goes off track. Very, very wise driving to not get in the way of Andre Lloyd on his flying lap here. 123.9. It's a good improvement for Andre Lloyd, but he is still in 8th place. Unfortunate for him. It seems like the corkscrew is catching a fair few drivers out. That's Leon Staplefeld is the latest victim. We have Alex Kingston now coming across through the corkscrew past the wreckage of Leon Staplefeld's stricken McLaren into the penultimate corner. Nice and stable in the Ferrari. Not something you always see with these Ferraris. They can be a little bit temperamental from time to time. Alex Kingston will be hoping he can take P2 away from Giorgio Zacchetti, join Tommy Lydon on the front row of the grid. Is he able to do it with this lap? Yes, he is. It is a 122.6. It's the fastest lap by somebody not called Tommy Lydon we have seen yet. Artemi Ilin will be able to lift himself closer up the field. He needs to finish with a good result today to get ahead of Mohamed Irfan. And there's been chaos at the back. There's Roy Swelson's gone off. Martin Kuba's going to come across the line and set a good lap time in a second. 125.4 with his last lap. 124.4 to beat. It's a 124.9. Perfectly nestled between the two. Let's cut to Giorgio Zacchetti because he's probably the next most interesting driver on track right now. Everyone's all bunched up, trying to get some drag perhaps. Oh. I'm running out of breath. But here comes Giorgio Zacchetti now. Across the line. He'll be able to knock Alex Kingston out of row 1. But it's not going to be a 124.1 for Giorgio Zacchetti. It's not a bad lap by any means. But the standard is very, very high right now. Here's Martin Kuba now. Very smooth steering inputs from the German. Our third place driver in season 1 of the VGTR Challenge. The man who for the most of it was embroiled in a title rivalry with Tom Bartels. And had some good times in the M2 Cup as well. Martin Kuba now is going to come into the final corner. Still 200ths away from the top 10. Martin Kuba has been trying to break into this for so long. What's he going to be able to do on this lap? 124.42 to beat. 124.9 once again, same lap as last time. Kamil Taha improves down up to 12th place. That's a very, very impressive start for him. Josh Buckwalter consistent but not quicker. Felix Pine cannot improve. We've got a lot of drivers now not doing a whole lot. I think Giorgio Zacchetti can be the next one to do something. It looks like we have Artemi Ilin off track. He's run into an incident. Giorgio Zacchetti slowing right down for this. This is not particularly racing speed, is it? So that's his lap time done. We're back to looking at Martin Kuba again, who's getting plenty of plenty of on-screen time today. His number 65 has spun off. I can tell you that's Jeffrey Theriot spinning off on a straight somehow. I'm not entirely sure how he's done that. Matt Hussle last 4 corners. Well, you know, are you sure you want to take that bet? Are you sure he's going to make it 4? I mean, 1, 2... How are you counting the corners? Are you counting the King Kong turn 1 as a corner? Where are you betting Matas is going to spin off at? Because I think personally Matas makes it all the way to lap 2 corkscrew and that's where he goes off. That's my bet. Lap 2 corkscrew. I reckon lap 1. Matas is normally he's pretty smart on the opening laps at least. I think he'll know not to go for a move into lap 1, but I feel like he'll get a good exit out turn straight. Good speed up the Rahal straight. He'll try and go for something and it just won't work. That's my bet. Because Matas is one of those entertaining drivers who will just go for the move if it's there. Kamil Taha moves into the top 10. Great lap from him, out-qualifying some very, very good drivers at the moment. Felix Pyatt improves to go P7. Leon Stapelfeld into P5. Still not much improvement from him. Andre Lloyd also struggling to improve behind his teammate Felix Pyatt right now. Oh my god, can you stop selling lap times for 30 seconds, guys? I need to catch my breath. There's Mohamed Irfan, but next across the line is Alex Kingston. Can he improve? No, he can't. 123 dead is a good lap, but it's not good enough to improve. Giorgio Zacchetti backing off on this lap once again. Matas Sidakerskis going to come across the Bentley here. I hope he wasn't held up there. It doesn't sound from the engine like he was, but I cut to the wrong camera, so I don't know. Matas Sidakerskis comes across the line. Can he improve? No, he cannot. 124 dead. He's only a 10th away. Very, very consistent running from Matas, it seems. But... no new fastest lap for him. Let's follow him, shall we? Let's ride on board. Oh, you think he's... Oh, so you think he's going to go off... Okay, Jack, so you think he's going to go off not here, and not here, not this kink. You think it's going to be this corner right here where Matas goes off on lap 1. Matas, this is the corner. That's where Jack thinks you're going to go off. So, you know, watch yourself there, I suppose. You think he's going to dive up the inside of somebody, or is he just... Oh, clip the inside curve. There we go. See, you're a corner late on this time. He went off on turn 5 instead. Just out of pure spite. Down to the corkscrew. Let's see if we can hold it together. Are there any lap times being set? Anything interesting happening? No. Let's cut to Roy Swelson. He's about to come across the line and set a lap time. Currently sat at the bottom of the grid, 127.7 dead. His fastest lap. Behind him, Giorgio Zacchetti, who we're going to actually focus on because he might have a good lap here. He's not backed out. Roy Swelson cannot improve. I think he did improve there, didn't he? Yeah, 127.3. Giorgio Zacchetti cannot improve, is what I meant. Artemi Ilin. Comes across the line with a 124.1, also not improving at all. Hey, Martin Kuba, it's your turn again. Just been running all by himself here at the front of this little pack who are setting all their lap times together. I'd say very impressed by Kamil Taha's performance. P11 is he's out-qualified some good drivers. So out-qualifying Martin Kuba, Josh Buckwalter, John Gibson. And at one point was ahead of Felix Pyatt as well. Martin Kuba cannot improve on that lap. Can Kamil Taha improve? No, he cannot. 7/10 away from his fastest. Leon Stapelfeld starts a new fastest lap, as does Felix Pyatt. Behind him, though, Andre Lloyd, his teammate, comes across the line, improves to go 8th. 123.87 for him. 122.6 for Mohamed Irfan. That is a very, very good lap to put himself into P2. Giorgio Zacchetti, who's been running, trying to set these fast laps, backing away when he makes a mistake, getting himself some space, playing the qualifying game very, very nicely, but it's not working out for him so far because he's still stuck down in P4, which he won't be entirely happy with. Big danger from the start from Leon Stapelfeld as well, a driver who may want to look to go forwards, has something to play for. Giorgio Zacchetti does improve this lap, but it's still not enough. The three drivers, Mohamed Irfan, Alex Kingston, Giorgio Zacchetti, separated by less than a tenth. We see Artemi Lin come across the line here. Can improve, but not enough to go any further. 6/10 the gap between Artemi Lin and Neon Staplecock. There is a clear top 5 in this race. So far, Matas going slowly, just getting himself some space for a fast lap, it would seem. So let's see what Matas can do here. I'm going to take a moment to get my breath back. Let's just watch Matas for a second. Okay. Let's not watch Matas. Let's watch somebody else. Thanks for that, Matas. That was amazing timing. Felix by now across the line. He does improve, sorry. P7 for him now. I think he was there before anyway. Mohamed Irfan doesn't improve. Behind him we have next driver set line big Royce Wilson. Artemi Ilin and Alex Kingston though. Also setting some lap times. I'm going to sit down. You know what? I'm going to do a lazy cast today. Let's sit down for once. Treat myself. Oh, that's better. My legs are getting tired. Artemi Ilin though, coming across the line now. Ooh, what's it going to be? Hoping to move into the top 5. Big improvement it will have to be. It is not that. Alex Kingston doesn't improve either. It looks like we're mostly at a stalemate here. Tommy Lydon's just set one fast lap and just, I don't know, gone to have lunch, I suppose. Is Giorgio Zacchetti on a valid lap? Yes, he is. Let's look at him for a bit. Let's ride on board and see what he's capable of. Alright, that's enough watching Giorgio Zacchetti. It was an improvement anyway in the end. Unlucky for him. Andre Lloyd about to set a fast lap, hopefully. Artemi Ilin, can he go faster? Nope, nobody here is going faster at all, except for Jeffrey Theriot, who improves enough to go P15. A few drivers still stuck in the pits. Nobody happening here. Oh, look who it is. Look who we can have a look at for the time being. Matas Sidekeskis in the number 10 Ferrari. And also in the dirt on the outside of the Rahal Straight. You're not getting away that easy, Matas. You can't just throw your lap to get me away from your lap time. I'm going to watch you until the end because Giorgio Zacchetti is many, many corners behind. And I have nothing better to do as he goes over the curb and into a little bit of gravel. A little bit of off-roading going on there, but you know, I respect it. Behind, we have Giorgio Zachetti's abandoned his lap, so it's Andre Lloyd and Jeffrey Theriot, the two Americans, the last drivers out on track. Andre Lloyd needs to shave off 200ths to beat his teammate. It's not going to happen as he pulls into the pits instead. Jeffrey Theriot has an opportunity to move ahead of John Gibson at the very, very least here. 400ths he'd need to save. It's very doable, I reckon. He's going to come across the final corner now in the number 65 Aston Martin. What's it going to be? Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It could be a last second improvement. It's going to be as well. Jeffrey Theriot moves into P14 ahead of John Gibson. Fantastic last lap improvement from him. At the very, very death, Jeffrey Theriot gets himself into P14. So there's our grid for the finale of the VGTR Challenge Season 3. Tommy Lydon, unsurprisingly, on pole position. And the protagonist, the favourite perhaps, in the race for the runner-up spot, Mohamed Irfan, in second place. If it finishes as it starts, Mohamed Irfan will be the VGTR Challenge Season 3 runner-up There's no camera where I can actually get a good angle of where everybody is. Alex Kingston lines up on row 2 behind them. I just accidentally clicked the wrong button and changed my layout. There we go. Alongside Giorgio Zacchetti, row 3 is Leon Staplefelt alongside the other protagonist in the runner-up fight, Artemi Illin, down in P6. He'll need to move forwards at the start if he wants to have a chance of doing any damage this race. Felix Pyant in P7 alongside his ORC teammate Andre Lloyd. Good qualifying for those two to occupy row 4. Matas Sitakakis and Justin Moffat round out the top 10. Kamil Taha, the first driver outside the top 10 in P11 alongside Martin Kuba. Josh Buckwalter might be a little bit disappointed with his qualifying in P13 alongside his countryman Jeffrey Theriot. John Gibson down in P15. Plenty of room to move forwards. We'll be hoping for some exciting driving from him. Fabrizio Barbierato is behind him. And the final row of the grid, row 9, Royce Wilson alongside Mox Tux, who just hopped onto the server at the very, very end. Can I get free camber around myself? I mean, I can to an extent, but I don't. I think it's like I think it's restricted how far I can actually move. But there's Tommy Lydon. We'll just look at each car. Mohammed Irfan as well. It's actually a really good call, Jack. That was a thank you for that. That's a. Do you want a commentary job? There's Giorgio Zacchetti. And all black McLaren of Leon Staplefelt, which shouldn't be all black, but I just didn't load the livery properly. Artemi Illin there. Powered by AWS. Much to the demise of some of our races from time to time. Felix Pyant there. Alongside Andre Lloyd in the other ORC car. Matas Sitakakis in the number 10 Ferrari alongside Justin Moffat for Crazy Rabbits Racing. Oh, he's got a US Air Force sponsorship, just like a hell of a lot of. Oh, he's got a Comic Sans. He's got Comic Sans on his as his thing, as his driver name. I love it. And yeah, the beautiful rear wing as well. All the Pepes. Kamil Taha in the number 22 Porsche alongside Martin Kuba here. There's Josh Buckwalter and Jeffrey Theriot. John Gibson, one of the best looking cars on the grid at McLaren. And then the very interesting, I love the grille decorations and the Italian flag for Fabrizio Barbierato. He's got his own name up there, which is nice. Royce Wilson, and then right at the back we have Mox Tux, of course. Do you know, if you actually go down here, you can see there's... I love how going down here, looking at all the detail they've put into the models. It's a little bit fucked here, but let's have a look at the Nissan GTR that Tommy Lydon's in here. Have they got... how much detail they got down here, stuff like... Yeah, look how much detail there is on this. That's ridiculous. Who looks at this stuff? Well, apart from me. Okay if flashes continuously. Okay if on for 10 seconds continuously. Fail if flashes for 10 seconds. Good to know. This is winner POV, I suppose. I'm just having fun at this point, I'll be honest. Who else can we look at? Mohammed Irfan in the... Oh, I haven't seen the inside of a Bentley before. Oh. What's he got down here? He's got a data logger. Some extension cords, a tyre pressure monitor ECU. Oh, he's got something by Cosworth. I like that. We love a bit of Cosworth. Oh, they've got stickers. And they actually have real things on it. Giorgio Zacchetti gets his fire suppression stuff from Sussex. Hang on a minute, wait a minute. Giorgio Zacchetti, date of next service, September 2019. You've been slacking for 3 years, my guy. What's that about? Giorgio Zacchetti has not had his fire extinguisher serviced in so long. That's absolutely appalling. I'm sorry, but we take fire safety very, very seriously in the VGTR challenge. I love how detailed this is as well. Holy shit. I'm just nerding out right now, ignore me. What else we got? Oh, I haven't seen the inside of a Honda. Look at that. Is this also... Wait, when was he last service? Okay, so Felix Pyance hasn't even been serviced at all. That's even worse somehow. Honestly, Felix, that's despicable. I'm disappointed. I expect better from the ORC. Oh, right. Race start. Right. Wait, no, we're only at the... Oh, shit, I thought we were at the race start. Never mind, I'm going to keep looking in people's... footwells then. Here's the Mercedes. We have a bunch of plugs down here. Much nicer cable management in the Mercedes. It just goes into the bodywork, it looks like. A lot less messy. As Andre Lloyd has his fire extinguisher serviced. Oh, service required, yeah. I don't know what this means. I suppose... I mean, this is obviously quite an old one, because the year says 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Andre Lloyd, how old is your fire extinguisher? If you have a crash, you are in big trouble, my friend. Oh, my days. Right, anyway. We probably do have a race start. Is there anybody else in an interesting car we can look at? Nah, you know what, let's just actually do the race start. Five place penalty grid drop for Sacchetti for having an out-of-date fire extinguisher. You know it. Anyway. That was probably the weirdest aside anyone's ever done in a Assetto Corsa competency only cast, but I really like how just ridiculously detailed the models are. I'm really enjoying it. Anyway. Red lights. Turn to green, and now we're underway for the final race of the season in the VGTR Challenge. It's a good start from Tommy Lydon straight away. He gets away well, and look at this. Alex Kingston muscling his way through. Mohamed Irfan's going to have to be careful because George Sacchetti will look up the inside as well, but Mohamed Irfan's going to try and hold it all the way around the outside. It doesn't matter. Look at George Sacchetti already off after a tangle with Leon Staplefeld. That's good news for Artemi, and he moves into P4 immediately. Drivers at the back, we have drivers off. It's absolute chaos. Hang on a minute. Kamil Taha is out there. Jeffrey Theriot, Felix Pine, and Andre Lloyd, the two teammates. What's happened? Have they come together? Now, crucially, let's cut to Matas, because as you said, Jackie's going to be going off right about now. The two teammates of the ORC, look at that. He's taking a very wide berth, not going off at all. Matas is better than you expected, it turns out. But anyway, Alex Kingston, what a start from him. Just muscling his way through. Not taking no for an answer on turn 1, was he? He absolutely forced his way into that gap. And Mohamed Irfan dropping to P3 as a result. He's got Artemi Ilin right behind. I don't know what the permutations are, but I don't think Mohamed Irfan claims... I think Mohamed Irfan might still claim P2 in the championship based off of this, but he's right now focusing on trying to get past Alex Kingston. A little bit shaky from the Brit there. Coming out of the turn 10. Mohamed Irfan sees him go wide and takes all the opportunity. He's going to move up into P2 nice and safely. And now Artemi Ilin's going to have a run at Alex Kingston as well. Right on board with our series founder here. Going to try and go around the outside perhaps, but nothing forthcoming. Alex Kingston does go a little bit wide, but it's okay. Able to get back into form for the second hairpin. And they hold station for now. Tommy Lydon already opening up a gap at the front of the race. And oh, Giorgio Sacchetti getting very slidey out of there. Struggling a little bit with the Bentley there. Getting a little bit wide there as well. Kicking up a lot of dirt. Looks like Matas is driving through a horror movie. And Matas has actually had a very good start. Moved ahead of Leon Staplefeld due to that collision. He's holding him off quite nicely so far. Might have an opportunity to get past Giorgio Sacchetti if there's another couple of errors. It's a very, very good start for the number 10 Ferrari here. Fastest lap for Mox Tux. We love to see that. I just want to point John Gibson only one place away from being in the top 10. Very driver of the day like performance if he can make it into the top 10, I would say. 5 positions would have been gained. He did ask to be driver of the day today, so you know. Let's hope he can earn it, otherwise it looks very silly when we hand it out to him. Behind we have Fabrizio Barberato is the last place the drivers who didn't crash, Jeffrey Theriot and Felix Pine heading at the rear, the two Americans. Andre Lloyd, the first driver to come into the pits, he's actually going to be coming out of it now. Look at this three battling for P2 at the moment. It's probably the most interesting battle on track. Oh, and Mohamed Irfan making a mistake, going a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2 there. into turn 3. Alex Kingston is a lot closer than he was before. Might fancy a run into the into an upcoming corner if Mohammed Irfan makes another mistake, and he does. Mohammed Irfan, he's gone round. It's a disaster. But it's an absolute victory for Artemi Ilin. I think Mohammed Irfan might still have P2 locked down if he finishes P6. I'm not entirely sure what the standings are like, but that is still a victory for Artemi Ilin because this is more points. He'll be, if he finishes P4, he's adding points to his tally, crucially. Anyway, the Justin Moffat fan club I see is back, so here's your man. Currently stuck behind Andre Lloyd, who has done his pit stop. Andre Lloyd, very, very sportsman-like driver. Will undoubtedly move out of the way as soon as he gets an opportunity. Blue flags are being waved for him, and I think we'll see him move over very, very shortly. But Justin Moffat for now down in P9. He's actually having a little bit of trouble getting past his countryman here. Down in P18, Andre Lloyd, who does now move a little bit over to the side. Is this him letting him by? Yes, it is. Good sportsmanship from Andre Lloyd there. Very, very difficult track to let people past on. Laguna Seca, has to be said. Alex Kingston now under pressure from Giorgio Zacchetti, who's all over the back. That Bentley looks like a giant compared to the Ferrari. And Giorgio Zacchetti is all over the back of that number 77 ICBC Ferrari driven by Alex Kingston. Artemi Ilin has gotten himself up into P2 and will be hoping to hold on to that position for the foreseeable future. Alex Kingston, though, is in big, big trouble. Could be about to drop 2 positions in a matter of laps. Look how fast Giorgio Zacchetti is. He's too fast. He's too fast for his own good, is the Italian. Comes back onto the track. Oh, and he's hit Mohammed Irfan. What a save, though, from the Indonesian. Holy shit. That was a full 360. That's all you can really... That's amazing. That's the moment of the season. Mohammed Irfan with the save of the century there. He just kept going like nothing happened. He only lost 1 position from it, and that was the man that hit him. That's a very, very impressive save from Mohammed Irfan there. He deserves a lot of plaudits for that. Let's cut back to the front though. So Alex Kingston right on the back of Artemi Ilin. But look at the straight line speed difference. Artemi Ilin just that little bit quicker in a straight line. You can see the gap opening up. It's going to take something a little bit more from Alex Kingston to try and get past. Looks like he was under a little bit of stress trying to get that braking done in time for the corner. But he does get it done. And now he's going to be sat behind our series founder for another lap, perhaps. But still a good, pretty good result so far for both Alex Kingston and Artemi Ilin. Alex Kingston would love the opportunity to add another P2 to his name in this series. But all the while they're fighting, look in the background. Matas Sidakerskis has somehow managed to get himself into a position here. He could be a potential threat, and that is very, very exciting, if I do say so myself. Alex Kingston, though, will be hoping that he can get past Artemi Ilin and away from the chasing Ferrari before any disasters do strike him. The problem is, as much as he has managed to keep up with Artemi Ilin, I think going to be overtaking him is going to be another matter altogether. But look at that exit. It's very, very nice from Alex Kingston. He's right on the back. But once again, the straight line speed is just not there in the Ferrari. We have Fabrizio Barbirato going off at the hairpin, I can tell you. The corkscrew, sorry, I can tell you as well. We're going down to the hairpin with Alex Kingston now. And you can see still forced to settle for P3 once again. Look in the background, no real moves happening there either. It's all pretty quiet so far, only 18 drivers on track today. Alex Kingston trying to move about, force Artemi Ilin into an improper line, and I think he has forced Artemi Ilin into a suboptimal line. Less exit speed from Artemi Ilin. Alex Kingston's going to go and try and go around the outside. No way, it's not going to work. It was a bold attempt, and he held it together very, very nicely. A lot of speed being taken into that corner there as he goes into turn 6 now. And up through the Rahal, straight towards the corkscrew. Once again, we're right on board with him here as he tries to follow the Brit in the number 19 Aston Martin. as it is for now. It's and the continuing stalemate for the foreseeable, it would appear. Artem Ilin really, I think, doing a good job of holding behind Alex Kingston. And I think Alex Kingston may be requiring a mistake, hoping for something to go wrong for Artem Ilin. Or that he can just play enough mind games, force Artem Ilin into being a little bit too pressured. Force him into defending. That's when opportunities will begin to open up. But for now, we remain with the status quo. Look at the gap forming in the middle of the track right now. You've got a big gap from a 5-second gap. Sorry, a 7-second gap from Kamil Taha forward to Martin Kuba and back to Moxturks. Kamil Taha is all alone in the middle of the track. And you got to feel kind of sorry for him, really. Also, I just realised Andre Lloyd hasn't done his... What the hell was that? That was Matas. Hang on a minute, Matas is facing backwards. What happened there? He spun coming out of turn 4. It's exactly what Jack said would happen. It's just a few laps later. And that's a bit of a disaster for Matas. But at least now Kamil Taha does have some company in this little gap between the two packs. That's nice, at least. Here's Leon Staplefelt now battling with Josh Buckwalter. Josh Buckwalter, very, very good start for him. Started about P12, already up into P6. He'll be very proud of his performance today, and quite rightly so far. Let's look forward. Because you have Alex Kingston and Artem Ilin going almost side by side. They're so close together through the final corner. Still though, not fast enough, that Ferrari, to get anywhere near the Aston Martin. He's closing in under braking very, very nicely, is Alex Kingston, but it's not really enough to get anything going. You see, look how close he is now. This is crazy. You can see all the decals on the back. You can read all the numbers. And he's got a much better exit here. This could be the chance for Alex Kingston. Artem Ilin's going to have to be careful. There's not a lot of opportunity, but Alex Kingston still looked like he might have been able to go for that. Chooses to back out in the end. Wise decision not to go for the move, one would probably say. And we're back to this stalemate. So, yeah, I hope you guys like seeing cars follow each other. Artem going a little bit defensive there, opening up some space on the outside of the track for Alex Kingston to potentially move into, but not enough speed on the Ferrari. Not going to matter on this occasion, but look, just through the corners, Alex Kingston's grip seems to be better somehow. He's able to take a bit more speed, but just on the straights, he cannot really have a match for Artem Ilin. I think this is probably setup differences which are causing this, but right now it's working in Artem Ilin's favour. The problem is, look, all the while, we've got Giorgio Zacchetti and Mohamed Irfan joining this battle. A four-way battle for P2. Don't mind if I do. I would definitely be down for a little bit of that. Tommy Lydon is so far ahead at this point. Already got a 14-second gap. This battle is holding the whole pack up, and well, it's working in the pole's favour once again. He's going to finish this with his fourth victory in the VGTR challenge in all likelihood, Tommy Lydon. But yeah, no complaints from him about that, one would imagine. Alex Kingston now still stuck behind Artem Ilin. Surely something's got to be forthcoming. Let's look back a little bit at Leon Staplefelt now, because I think we could be seeing something here for Justin Moffat on the back of the German in the number 666 McLaren. Oh, he's actually made a slight mistake. And look at this now. Alex Kingston going side by side with Artem Ilin up towards the Rahal Straight. Not able to get the move done. Neither of them taking optimal lines there. They both missed the apex. And now Giorgio Zacchetti's in the mix as well. This is absolutely huge. Artem Ilin goes defensive. Giorgio Zacchetti around the outside. He's got past Alex Kingston already, but Alex Kingston fights back. Artem Ilin is now no longer part of this battle. It's Giorgio Zacchetti versus Alex Kingston. And as it stands, we maintain the status quo for now. Mohamed Irfan in P5 is watching all this go down, hoping for an opportunity. He almost saw one up the inside of Giorgio Zacchetti there, but nothing was actually going to happen in the end. And now look at Alex Kingston once again, just so close to the back of Artem Ilin. This is a fantastic battle here. Four drivers, all hoping, all protagonists in the race for second place, all hoping to claim P2 in the race and in the championship overall. And this is absolutely gripping stuff here. Alex Kingston now has got a little bit too much company for his liking. He wants to be able to attack Artem Ilin, just as he has been doing for the last few laps, but now he's got Giorgio Zacchetti to worry about, but in turn Giorgio Zacchetti has to be wary of Mohammed Irfan. The more these guys fight, the more they slow each other down. Josh Buckwalter, Leon Staplefeldt and Justin Moffat are slowly going to close that gap. And let's actually have a look, because it looks like they're getting very close together. Josh Buckwalter and Leon Staplefeldt. Justin Moffat's moved back a little bit. Now, let's have a look at, let's return here. We can see Mohammed Irfan is closest to making a move out of these fours. They all head down towards turn 6 and up the Rahal straight. I wonder which Rahal that was named after. Because there's a lot of Rahals, isn't there? Presumably not Graham, because Graham's not done much. Presumably Bobby Rahal? Is it Bobby Rahal's the good one? There's Bobby Rahal. Bobby Rahal was a 3-time Champ Car champion, wasn't he? So I assume it's him. Yeah, probably Bobby Rahal. Anyway, Alex Kingston now right on the back. Mohammed Irfan choosing to dive into the pits in this moment, not wanting to be a part of this battle. He knows they're going slowly. He can get an undercut going here. He sees the opportunity and it's an early pit stop. And it could be a very, very wise decision for Mohammed Irfan here. As Alex Kingston now is going to be stuck in P3. Still. And in fact, now he's closer to having the space taken away from him. Giorgio Zacchetti right on the back of the Ferrari. There's no way to get away at the moment. This fight will continue for the foreseeable future, it would seem, and we can't really look away because it's the most exciting thing happening on track. Right now, it looks like Giorgio Zacchetti just through the corners, dropping back a little bit. These two ahead are a little bit quicker in certain areas of the track. You can expect the straight line speed of the Bentley to come into force before they hit the Rahal straight. Now Alex Kingston, once again, he's so close, but it's not going to be enough, surely. It's just so frustrating to watch. You can see him just getting so close to the back of the Aston Martin every single time. This time choosing to go a little bit narrow into the corner. Put himself in the wing mirrors of Artemi Ilin. A little bit of psychological warfare there, and it seems to have worked because Artemi Ilin moving over very, very early. Space was there on the inside for Alex Kingston, but he doesn't choose to take it. What would have slowed him down as Fabrizio Barbierato has turned round. He's now just recovering himself back onto the circuit. Mohammed Irfan now a lap down on the people behind him. But crucially, he's going to be setting lap times in clear air right now. Well, Artemi Ilin, Alex Kingston, Giorgio Zacchetti continue their battle. The problem is he will need to be quick enough that he doesn't get blue flagged. So, oh, it's a disaster. It's happened. Finally, the pressure. It's gone to Artemi Ilin, and that is an awful way to lose his position that he's fought for so long in this race. He eventually moves down to P4, and that's going to be excellent news for both Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston, who may want to have a battle of their own now. Let's cut back a little bit. A few drivers to this battle. Moxtox, Roy Swelson and Felix Pyant all battling it out. Felix Pyant will be hoping that he can move through this pack nice and quickly. We're right on board with them for a little bit as he comes up behind Roy Swelson, moving up towards turn 6. The Dutchman goes defensive, but Felix Pyant could have a better line here with much better exit speed. He's going to move alongside nice and easy. Up the inside into the corkscrew, gets ahead before even the end of the Rahal straight, and that is a nice and easy move from Felix Pyant. Can he take the corkscrew nicely? Yes, he does. Moxtox going all over the curves, losing a bunch of speed. 2 moves and 2 corners for Felix Pyant. It's as easy as that for the American in the number 34 Honda NSX here. Horrible start to the race for him, making contact with his teammate Andre Lloyd, who we should say big shout out to Andre Lloyd because he is in last place, but he's still going, still trekking around the circuits. We see Fabrizio Barbierato once again off track. He's having a nightmare today. Comes back on just ahead of the man we were just talking about. That's actually Josh Buckwalter. There's Andre Lloyd. The two identical looking Mercedes were right next to each other. But yeah, last place, still going. 17 seconds down on Mohammed Irfan, who's done a pit stop. He's Still going though, still plugging out, still getting his laps in, and we love to see that. Same story at Sandport last year. Big plaudits for him for that, because I would have already quit by now if I'm being entirely honest. Let's have a look at Mohammed Irfan now battling Leon Staplefelt, who is a lap up, of course. And this is a bit of a disaster for, you know, not ideal for Mohammed Irfan, because he won't be wanting to be held up for too long. He's definitely a quicker driver than these two ahead, at least today. And every lap he's stuck behind him is a lap that the undercut, sorry, isn't working for him. So yeah, he'll need to fix this, and quickly. We see actually that's a slight instant there for Mohammed Irfan. I cut away really quickly to take a drink, and Jeffrey Therriot's off the track as well. On the outside the Rahal Straight. It looks like that's our first retirement of the day. Jeffrey Therriot choosing, after a tricky start and even trickier rest of the race, that's all he wants to do for now. Look at Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston meanwhile going at it now for P2. This is a very, very important battle, of course. Two of the front runners in the championship. Alex Kingston, who's been so impressive since joining the VGTR challenge. I'm just trying to find the stats myself. No moves seem to be happening anytime soon. Oh, never mind. Giorgio Zacchetti, so close to the inside of Alex Kingston. And now Justin Moffat joining the fray, keeping out the way very nicely. Matas Sedekerskis has a drive-through penalty, presumably for speeding in the pit lane. Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston fighting here. Alex Kingston looking for his second podium in the VGTR challenge. Giorgio Zacchetti looking for his 9th. It would move him within one of the all-time record holder Abe Santema for podiums in the VGTR challenge. Right now it looks like both of them are going to get their wish, but they'll still want the extra points that comes with second place. I'll be honest, apart from this, there's not a whole lot happening right now. I guess Josh Buckholz and Leon Staplefelt are still following each other around very closely without actually doing any overtaking whatsoever. That's happening. And look at this behind, Artemi Ilin now catching back up slowly but surely. Justin Moffat moving out of the way for the car lapping him. Very, very good driving from the American there. We love to see it. Let's have a look at, let's just go look at Mohammed Irfan, because he's going to be cutting through the pack, isn't he? Behind Martin Kuba at the moment. We could see an overtake here. Just be unlapping himself, obviously, as one of the few drivers to have already pitted. Right now, he's forced to stick behind the Audi. Oh. It's a shame when we have 16 cars on track, it's hard to quite have the same level of excitement. Mohammed Irfan does get that move done eventually around the outside of Martin Kuba. Well driven there. Flash forward to have a look at Artemi Ilin now all over the back of Fabrizio Barberato, who is being lapped and does move out the way very, very nicely. Well done, Fabrizio. And now forward once again to look at this battle between Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston. I guess, you know, it's a battle happening, that's something. But yeah, not a whole lot to get excited about. Once again, there's nothing really coming in terms of opportunities for Giorgio Zacchetti. He's just not quick enough in the areas of the track he needs to be to get close enough. Just always like a tenth or so too far back. But Alex Kingston getting a little bit slidey in the opening sector of this track. Giorgio Zacchetti still within touching distance of second place. Could be his best opportunity for a little while here. That's what I'm going to say about it. And other than that, I'm just going to cross my fingers and dream that we can get an overtake. Oh. He's so close going into the corkscrew, but it's still not enough. Alex Kingston quicker out of there as well, opening up the gap a little, turning the knife as John Gibson has come into the pits for his pit stop. I assume it's for his pit stop, right? Yeah. I assume he's not just retired. And as you were, I suppose. Let's have a look here. Leon Staplefelt and Josh Buckwalter battling for P5. This is a little bit more interesting, I think. They're a little bit closer together. Maybe Leon Staplefelt will get a move going. Maybe he'll just sit back and relax and we'll be forced to wait this one out. Alright. What about here? Come on, Andre Lloyd and Mohamed Irfan. One of you wants to make a move. Surely Mohamed Irfan going to go to the outside, and Andre Lloyd already done a fair few moves around the outside this season, has the man from Indonesia, but it's not going to work on this occasion. Stuck behind the American for another few corners at least. And yeah, I'll be honest with you guys, it's hard to make this race exciting. I'm very tired, and the race isn't helping with that. Not a huge amount of stuff going on. Oh, Matas is retired. I didn't even look at chat. Yeah, I'll be honest, I think this is the second time you've gotten caught out by pit lane speed limits. It looks like they're a little bit weird. But hang on, looking forwards. What on earth is this? They come together, Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston. Something's finally happening. Alex Kingston's going to hold him to decision, surely. There is contact between the two of them, but they're closer than ever, side by side, through turn 4, now into turn 1, 2, 3. This is turn 4, sorry. Giorgio Zacchetti right in the back. Alex Kingston kick up dirt on the outside. Not going to be good for his exit speed. Alex Kingston still has the inside line, however, will be hoping to keep this position into turn 5 and kill off any hope that Giorgio Zacchetti had of getting past. Indeed, Giorgio Zacchetti forced to take a back seat once again. On board now with the Italian in the number 126 Bentley. No move, it looks like. Yep. As you were, carry on. Artemilian and Justin Moffat following on, close behind. Still, Artemilian not quite close enough to go for any kind of move. Leon Staplefelt was still not really in a position to do anything either. Now Mohamed Irfan, probably the most interesting man on track right now. Andre Lloyd getting past Kamil Taha with a good move there. Full send, but misses the corkscrew. Mohamed Irfan takes full advantage. Moves by Andre Lloyd, being the absolute sportsman that he is. Moves out of the way. He knows that that move on Kamil Taha wasn't legal. And Martin Kuba occupies the space between them. Obviously, they are all a lap down. And we see Fabrizio Gualbierato there off track, and Martin Kuba's gone round and has been hit, and now there's another, just more chaos going on. Kamil Taha has dropped that place to Andre Lloyd in weird circumstances, but it doesn't matter too much because Andre Lloyd still has to pit once. Martin Kuba has finally got going again behind him. John Gibson in P15, just having a quiet, comfortable race at the moment. Crucial news, Giorgio Zacchetti is in the pits. So we might see Alex Kingston respond. He's coming out now just as Alex Kingston is coming down the corkscrew. So we'll see if that has any relation to when Alex Kingston might decide to pit. Leon Staplefelt also coming out of the pits. He's decided he's had enough of that battle with Josh Buckwalter. I keep calling him Josh. I've been doing it since the first race I commentated back in the start of Season 2. And here we are at the end of Season 3 and I'm still doing it. Leon Staplefield's actually gone off and he's become our latest retirement. He went off the track at turn 1 and now he's out of the race altogether. Alex Kingston chooses to carry on, not pitting yet. Boy. Yeah, this is going to be a quiet end to the season, I think. Is there anything happening? Anybody feeling like doing something interesting today? Please, for the love of God, I need something to commentate on. Here's Tommy Lydon. He's next to Felix Pyant. Not an amazing race. I'll be honest, at this point I'm just relaxing. I'm just trying to keep my eyes out for anything happening, I guess. The closest thing we have to anyone running close together is Artemir and Justin Moffat, but they're a lap away. We're halfway through the race. Yeah. I mean, I hope the second half is a little bit more exciting, a little bit quicker perhaps. So it stands, not a whole lot going on. Alex Kingston now coming out of the pits, actually. Have a look at this. Giorgio Zacchetti managed to jump his rival in the pits. Alex Kingston come out quite a long way behind the Italian. That's a disaster for him. He'll be able to catch up a little bit. They are coming across to the back of John Gibson, everybody. That's the gap that has now been formed. Giorgio Zacchetti will be very pleased with that. The question is, can Alex Kingston catch up now? He's got a... We'll see what the gap is in a second when the timing comes up. 3.2 seconds it is. Do you want a fun fact? It's been 5 years to the day since the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's the one where Vettel crashed into Hamilton. Half a decade since the when did I do dangerous driving incident. It's been is it just me or it's been a very fast 5 years? Feels like it. As Tommy Lydon comes into the pits and so does Artemir Lin, which means our new race leader is Josh Buckwalter. Obviously, no pit stop for him yet, so not really the true race leader, you could say. Net, it's still going to be Tommy Lydon, of course. .6 seconds the gap between Alex Kingston and Giorgio Zacchetti. Does look like he's closing in. I don't know. Not really closing in at all. In fact, Giorgio Zacchetti is the one who's got more pace. So I guess that's that battle sorted. Let's look at our race leader, Josh Buckwalter. With Mohamed Irfan behind him. And his own teammate, Andre Lloyd, in an almost identical car about to come out of the pits, just ahead of Mohammed Irfan. Oh, we've only got 26 minutes to go, guys, don't worry. We had such a good battle early on. What happened? There's Tommy Lydon. Just vibing really, isn't he? Doesn't have a whole lot to do. He's coming into the corkscrew now. His nearest rival is only just coming through turn 4. Oh, Fabrizio Barbarato is going off track again. Could see a little bit of a development in the battle between Giorgio Zacchetti and Alex Kingston, I suppose, if Alex Kingston can get through the back markers nice and quickly. Also, we'll have two of our series admins in John Gibson and Artem Yelin come close together on track soon. So now we'll have a look at this at least. I feel like Fabrizio Barbarato has spent more time in the dirt than on the tarmac today. Struggling a little bit in the Porsche on Laguna Seca. Cut forwards here, so you have a battle for position, I suppose. Felix Pine here under pressure from Giorgio Zacchetti. And moves out of the way. Obviously, pit stop diff there. Meaning it meant no sense for Felix Pine to get in the way. And he wisely chooses not to. Back to John Gibson, I suppose. Alex Kingston now only 2 seconds to Giorgio Zacchetti. Closed down 1.7 seconds in the past few laps. We'll probably see that battle resume at some point. John Gibson goes a little bit wide on the exit of the final corner. There's Justin Moffat by himself. A lot of drivers just by themselves at the moment. We've only even got one pit stop left now. Yeah. I think I'm going to quickly take a drink because this race is pretty dry. I'm struggling here, I'll be honest. I'm trying my hardest, I really am. Fuck it, let's just go back to Giorgio Zacchetti. Something's always happening with Giorgio Zacchetti. Alex Kingston will catch him in a bit and then we'll have a battle on our hands. Lord knows where anything happening elsewhere. Maybe just Mohammed Irfan sighting through some mid-pack drivers. Only a second now. Slowly but surely the gap's closing. We have a little battle between Mox Tux, Rory Swelson and John Gibson, I suppose. Let's have a look at that. Lots of swerving all over the Rahal Straight. Oh, and John Gibson can go for the dive down the inside. Is that going to work? No, not quite. Roy Swelson and nobody quite taking the corkscrew properly there, but in the end, it's all good. John Gibson all over the back of Roy Swelson. Surely this move is going to happen soon. The Dutchman defending well, but going to have to keep doing it for a while, one would imagine, against John Gibson. And all this is allowing Moxtux to get away. Moxtux and Artemi then today became the moved ahead of Peter Kramer's at the top of the most VGTR entries in series history. It's Moxtux's 21st VGTR Challenge race. Artemi then also his 21st. Peter Kramer's not here today, but would have been on 21, still on 20 for him as of last race. Let's look forward a bit to these two. Still not quite close enough, Alex Kingston here. 3/10 now. It's getting a little bit closer, you know. Bound to be able to do a move eventually, but for now he's still just stuck on the right on the boundary of where you'd really want to be. I think it's still the straight line speed of the Ferrari letting him down. I'd be hoping that Giorgio Zacchetti makes a mistake. He has been a driver who's been error prone in the past. Had a couple of incidents at times. You know, usually in qualifying more than anything else, less so in the race. Still, no moves. Except here, Moxtux now and John Gibson fighting side by side. Gibson got past, but Moxtux fighting straight back. No messing about whatsoever from the German. And John Gibson now trying to keep up, but being a bit left behind. Going to have Josh Buckwalter to deal with in a second as well. In P5 would be his best result of the season if it finishes like this. Back to Alex Kingston now. The stands still here have not a whole lot going on. No mistakes really happened from either of these drivers. Two of the most experienced and talented, consistent, everything you want to say drivers in the field. Not really in the business of making too many errors. Mohamed Ifan trying to get past Martin Kuba, still stuck behind him. Only a quarter of the race to go. Just over. I mean to think that maybe Laguna Seca isn't amazing for overtaking, because this has been absolutely painful to watch. These drivers following so close and just not being able to get past. Only got 15 drivers out on track at all. Normally hope for about 30 to 40. Maybe something here. Mohamed Irfan might want to have a go into turn 1 on Martin Kuba. It's bound to be tempting. Or not. Okay, well, you know, you do you. Back to these two, I suppose. In the vain hope that they might do something. Go on, Alex Kingston. Just go for a dive. Just, you know, give us some entertainment here. You know, if you get close enough, he's bound to make a mistake. A little tap. No one will mind. How do you make this interesting, though, for real? Take my glasses off. Ugh. Hurt my eyes. Here we go, could see a move here. Alex Kingston able to move to the outside on turn 11. He gets a really good exit as well. Could get side by side with Giorgio Zacchetti here. Going to cut to helicopter cam and watch this battle play out. Alex Kingston now will be hoping for an opportunity to get ahead into turn 1. Could look to outbrake Giorgio Zacchetti. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is it going to be doable? Not quite, it looks like. Once again, even with that, they were side by side and the move still doesn't happen. Ah! Oh, I'm losing my mind, man. Come on. I'll be honest. This might be the most boring race I've ever had in a VGTR challenge. Oh. Oh, there we go. It finally happens. After all that, we don't even get an overtake. Giorgio Zacchetti makes a mistake. Are you kidding me? Ah, we don't even get anything resembling about. We got like one corner where they went side by side. Ah. I'm losing my mind. Right, let's go have a look at Mohamed Irfan, see what he's up to. 12 more minutes, that's all we got to get through. That's all we got to get through. Oh boy. Come on, Mohamed Irfan. You can do something here, surely. No exit speed out the final corner though. Martin Kuba's a lot quicker out of there. And that means it's going to be another lap where we don't get an overtake. I mean, if I'm just going to have to stick behind, I don't really see any way of getting around that for now. So how's everyone's Saturday going? Yeah. Oh well, it's a learning experience. And the learning is that maybe next time season finale at a different track. Fabrizio Barbiato went off track again apparently. Slight yellow flags being called there, I saw in the corner of my eye. It's not amazing that the most interesting thing that happened in this entire race is when we were looking at fire extinguishers. Could see a move here perhaps. Mohamed Irfan could go for a late braking dive around the outside on Martin Kuba, but no, that's not going to happen either, is it? Oh boy. You know what, he's got good exit speed here. Could go into the corkscrew, maybe? No? No, he's too smart for that. He's too wise. He knows that'd be a bad idea. I'm so tired today. Maybe this time around the outside. Nope, force it back out. Would have made contact. Oh, it's just unlucky, innit? Let's just have a look at some of the cars. There's Mox Tux. Felix Pyant. Andre Lloyd. Alex Kingston now all by himself because of course this battle just never happened. Kamal Taha there, Artemia then in P4. Nice and spread out this front few for Fabrizio Barberato. Surprisingly on track this time. And behind him Josh Buckwalter. There's Royce Wilson. And there's our race leader Tommy Lydon. John Gibson also all by himself. In P12. And number 720 McLaren. Behind him Justin Moffat. Martin Kubo, now we're back here again, aren't we? Already. Bloody hell. This is pretty bleak. What do we have down here then? Go on, we'll do it mid-race. Can't even read the label on this one. Over here, a bunch of unnamed plugs and switches. See the pedal inputs here. Very gradual acceleration. Little taps on the brake from Martin Kuba here. We have an ECU here, and with a motorsport display. Presumably that's all this up, all that maybe. Yeah. Man, that's nicely rendered. I'm doing this for me at this point. Not using his driver info display. What else do we have here? Not a whole lot of any interest. That's the inside of the Audi. Let's look at the BMW. Go on. We need to do something to kill this time. We're looking at the insides of cars. Haven't seen the inside of the Porsche yet. Kamal Taha, you have the honour. Oh, look, it's actually a full wheel. How weird. Some kind of electricity thing. Power output. What's in here? No sign of last service, I'll just assume it's good. I trust Kamal Taha. Wait, is there anything going on? Nope, we're good. Nice little display here. What do these do? What's this do? Oh well. Guess I'll never know. Has Mohammed Irfan gotten past yet? Nope, we missed nothing. Never mind. Where's Royce Wilson? He's in the BMW. Let's have a look what's down here. Ooh, that's an ugly steering wheel. Look at that. What is that made of? It's hideous. I like the display though. Oh, he's got a nice little radar system here as well. What's he got down here? He's got some batteries. What's this? Go for it. It doesn't say when last. It doesn't say when last service. Okay, we'll give. Whoa! Whoa! Ah! Oh my god. Are we back in Bathurst? Are we back in Australia? What's going on? Ah! Oh, that's genuinely making me feel a little bit sick. Ugh. Ugh. That was very disorienting. Oh, Fabrizio Barberato is off track again. Let's just look at Tommy Lydon until the end of the race. You can buy the BMW with steering wheel from Fanatec. It's just 1.3k. Bloody hell. Sim racing is an expensive hobby, yo. What's the inside of the Nissan look like? Oh man, it's all got space age foil and stuff in it. Does this make it lighter or something? Who knows? A race logic box. Where's the Now here's the thing, I think this is the worst offender yet, because I don't even think he has a fire extinguisher on board. Oh wait, what's this back here? This might be it. Fire extinguisher valve company. This looks like it might be a sticker that says when it was last inspected, but I don't know. We need to start charging people for this, really. We need to get some fines out. Yeah, this is the final lap of the race. As you'll hear. We finally made it, the final lap of the race. We'll watch Tommy Lydon as he goes on board. We'll sit on top of his helmet, shall we? See what he... There we go. Oh, we can't see shit from here. We'll sit on his steering wheel. There we go. I'm leading the race now. It was me all along, guys. Anyway, yeah, final lap of the race. I think mercifully, the final lap of the race, this was absolutely interminable. Quite frankly, this was not the most interesting race in the world. I think it's fair to say. But it's over now. We're free. 18 drivers entered, 15 will finish. Jeffrey Theriot, Matas Sidakeskis and Leon Staplefelt we said goodbye to along the way. I'm going to have dinner after this, I'm hungry. What should I have? I don't really have much in, to be honest. Yeah. Anyway, Tommy Lydon comes across the line, he wins the race, we know this. We've been here 3 times already this season. Tommy Lydon wins the final race of the VGTR Challenge Season 3. Finishes off his championship winning campaign in great style. Josh Buckhalter will finish in P5 and Roy Swelson just outside the top 10 in P11. Justin Moffat in P6 in the number 223 Audi. Good result for him. 2 Americans in the top 6. 3 Americans in the top 10. Good home race for them all. Martin Kuba will finish ahead of Mohamed Irfan just about. In 7th and 8th there's John Gibson. He'll finish P12. Felix Pyant in P9. Alex Kingston will come across the line. He'll be the 2nd place finisher today. Indeed, he does come across the line there. Andre Lloyd in P13. Unlucky race for him once again. No luck this season, Andre Lloyd. Hopefully we'll be back for Season 4 for some better luck. Moxtux will finish P14. Another finish race of Moxtux. MVP really is Moxtux's internet today. Only 2 drivers left. Artemi in here. Just going to come around the final couple of corners. And then that will be at P4 for him. And our final man to come across the line will be Kamil Taha. It's going to be P10 for him. And there we go. There's your final standings. Tommy Lydon wins the race in the championship. In one of the most... it's not going to be remembered as one of the most interesting season finales we've ever had. As Mohamed Irfan does some donuts across the line, as does Kamil Taha. 30-second stop go penalty for Leon Staplefelt is what put him out the race. Diving penalty for Matas Sidakeskis, obviously. Also making him choose to retire. Jeffrey Theriot, the other driver, who retired. But yeah, I believe that is probably going to be... That's probably going to be it. For the time being, that's it for season. Hang on a minute, there we are. That's it. Oh man. That was a long hour. I hope you enjoyed my review of everybody's fire safety in this race. There wasn't really a whole lot. I'm glad some people did seem to enjoy it. I'm glad it was interesting from the driver's point of view, because from here... dreadful. Oh my god, nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Nobody could overtake on this track. We just watched Alex Kingston, Giorgio Zacchetti going like that for the whole race. Nightmare. Anyway. Keith come out sooner rather than later. I don't know if I'm even going to be a commentator anymore, man. I really don't know. I've got to get a job. Can't be doing this forever, you know? Real world's got to... Well, I've got to get on my real life. Hopefully that'll happen sooner rather than later. We'll see. But, thank you very, very much for joining me throughout the past 2 seasons of the VGTR challenge. It's been real. And I guess I'll see you sometime in future. Maybe if I have some spare time, I'll come back every now and again to say hello. But and I'll keep updating stats and everything, of course, as well. But until then, yeah, it's been real, and I'll see you in future.